If you were talking to somebody listening to the show, a young person your age and 20s, college age, who would say to you, didn't really know what Charlie Kirk's life was about, and said, "What's the big deal? I don't get why you guys are so upset." Talk about, just all of you, just weigh in. How would you explain to someone your age who said, "What's the big deal about his being assassinated?" What would you say?
I think that
Really quick. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
I was just gonna jump off the faith aspect I was just talking about. There was a video resurfacing of Charlie. Someone in an interview asked him, if you were to die tomorrow, what would you want to be remembered for? And immediately his response was, I want to be remembered for my faith in Jesus Christ. And I think that is such a powerful message. And I think, like, what's the big deal about Charlie? This man was a soldier of God. He defended the gospel and the word of God with such strength and such firmness that I think his life, and all lives mean something. We're all created in the image of God, but Charlie's life was especially put out in Jesus's plan for this country, because he knew this man was going to be one of his soldiers. And the day that he was murdered, he returned to his king.
Theo, what would you say to someone who said, "What's the big deal? Just one guy"?
Yeah, I think, again, to piggyback off the faith thing, like I said earlier in the beginning, faith had been pushed on the down low. The schools preached this whole First Amendment separation of church and state, all this stuff. And Charlie went in and challenged that narrative and really brought faith back to the center of this country. That's what our country was built on. Regardless of what anyone says, our country was built and founded on the Christian faith. And we understood that our Constitution was fit for a moral society, but that an immoral society was going to struggle with this Constitution. And that's what we've largely seen, as an immoral society that struggles to love America and our Constitution. And Charlie really stood up for his faith and challenged that, but he did it for his country as well. So he brought those two things together. They're not separate. Charlie was able to stand for his faith and know that Jesus Christ was the best thing that he could give to this country. And seeing someone like that, who was such a pioneer in bringing that back for a lot of us young Christian youth to really see that and be like, wow, like, my faith has a place in this nation and my faith needs to be put on display like that. And seeing someone that inspired you to be bold in your faith and put it on display be killed because of his faith, it lets you know how real this was. And I think it was a wake up moment for us all, in the fact of, like, this isn't just a game. Like, I think most of us Americans realize you have to be willing to die for this at this point. And I think most of us young people we're willing to go there. I think, and as awful as it was, I think it actually made people braver and bolder, and we don't care what
1000%. I agree, Theo.
I would
Emma,
say, Theo, just to bounce off of that might be the silver lining to all that's happened. And it's been horrific and it's been unfortunate. And everything that we witnessed on social media watching the assassination of Charlie, our souls are not they're not built to witness that kind of evil. And so like Sidonia had said earlier, this is a war between good and evil that we're facing now in this country. And Charlie is a martyr now, but Charlie was so important as when he was living. And of course, now that he is gone, he's so important because he was able to reach a demographic of people with a message that we've kind of lost sight of as a society, and not necessarily just politics, but also our value and our moral structure. People say Gen Z has it is so far gone. We've hit rock bottom. And I think a lot of Gen Z has actually realized that with themselves, and they've turned to idols like Charlie Kirk and other conservative or Christian influencers and said, maybe there is light in this darkness. And I think that's exactly what Charlie was able to provide for a lot of people.
1000%.
Yeah, he very much was that, just light, and gave people, especially young men, like, if you think of what it means to be a man of faith, Charlie, like, is the guy to look to. Led his family, led his wife, took care of his kids, provided. Like, seeing someone like that a man that is trying to just be a great man can be so looked down upon because of his values that made him such a great man. And promoting the nuclear family, like, since when have things like that been a problem? And seeing that that's become such a problem, it's very interesting.
And jumping off of that, if you follow everything that's been going on TikTok, I've never seen such a surge of churchgoers ever. It's truly a revival. Charlie has caused a revival of the word of Jesus Christ, and the amount of young men who are getting their life together, going to church, taking care or being more present in their children's lives and with their wife. It's absolutely inspiring. And it's all because of the way Charlie treated Erica and the way he defended the word of God.
I think a great testament to that was RFK's speech, talking about, was that his granddaughter, I believe, and how she takes her Bible to college. And it's like, I want to live like Charlie. Like that's what we saw in Charlie, was this person that like, this is what we should strive to live like, and like to truly stand up for our faith. Like the Christian faith is not just some cute little thing you go to church on Sunday, sing your songs. Like we have to be willing to defend our faith. The Bible tells us, if the world hates you, keep in mind it hated me first. Like and for some reason that's been lost by a lot of people. I think Bodie Bacham, who recently passed as well, he wasn't afraid to go there either. And I think Charlie, and I love Bodie as well. So those two guys were truly people that actually took that firm stand in their faith and showed us, this isn't something you just go pray on Sunday and go on about your week and stay quiet. It is a lifestyle, and it is for the betterment of society and the world, and that the world needs Jesus, the world needs change, and we have to go out there and be the change.
So that's the big deal. If people ask the question, what's the big deal about this guy? He was a soldier of God. That's the big deal.
100%, 100%.
And how do you all feel that's compatible with what he did with the president, with MAGA, with politics? How do you see those fitting together?
Well, I think Trump has outwardly started to speak about, that Christians are under attack in the world. Like they don't want to talk about what's going on with Christians over in Africa right now. They want to talk about all these other people, and they won't defend Christian people. And Trump, you can disagree with some of his things that may not have been the most Christian in the past, or may not say the most Christian things all the time. But as far as what he has done to defend Christians, Trump has been willing to do that. Vance standing up and talking about, he's been more willing to talk about his faith since Charlie. He said, in these last 2 weeks, I've talked more about my faith than I have in my entire life. And that shows not only the impact that Charlie had on us young people, but Charlie was making an impact on the president and the vice president of our nation and all of our other leaders. His impact wasn't just the young people. He inspired people that were in these huge roles. And, I think they really have made that push back to, morality, and that
1,000%.
you can't have a society function without some set of morality. And we're seeing such a struggle with that right now. That's where a lot of this tension really comes from, is a people that are trying to be moral people, what we were intended to be as a country, founded on these Christian principles, in a society that wants to say, well, no, we are supposed to be a secular society and we should be able to live lawlessly and immorally. And that is not what we are founded on. It's not.
I agree with you there, Theo.
Hey, everybody, if you're 64 years old or older, this is an important announcement. The Department of Justice recently sued 3 major Medicare brokers for claiming they were unbiased while allegedly pushing people into plans that got them the biggest kickbacks. It's true, so many insurance agents, they just can't be trusted, but you can't necessarily rely on government resources either. So what to do? Well, I want you to know about Chapter. Chapter was started by people who went through this exact thing personally after their own parents were pushed into the wrong Medicare plan by an agent who was more focused on commissions than on good care. Chapter's mission is very simple: give every American the honest, straightforward Medicare advice they deserve. And here's what's different about them. They're the only Medicare advisor that compares every plan nationwide, not just a handful. That saves their clients, get this, an average of $1,100 every year. There's no reason not to call. It's quick, it's easy, and they can review your options in under 20 minutes. If you're already in the right plan, they'll let you know that. But if they see a better plan, they'll help you make the switch. This could be the most important call you make this year. Dial right now, pound 250, and say Chapter Medicare, to get that peace of mind. Again, that's pound 250 and say chapter Medicare.